Not all of them dead, because when it happens really quick, you don't always get a confirmed kill or a kill with one bullet right off the bat. But they're not running anymore, and they're not shooting. So came up on orders to leave Okinawa to go to 10th Group at Fort Carson, Colorado for February 02. Yep, 02. So literally months later. But I was already knew I was going to. So, I mean, that wasn't a surprise. I'd done my time. And then I went from there back to Fort Carson, Colorado. And then that's when I went to Kosovo.
Are there...
First time, I think.
Are there things that hypothetically may have happened between 9/11 and going to Kosovo that you can't talk about on camera?
Very, very good chance. Yeah. That I might have been involved in directly, too. But nothing specific whatsoever or anything else.
We're going to leave that one there, people. You're just going to deal with that. All right, so I did want to circle back to this because Al-Qaeda is going to be a theme here, and the Middle East is going to be a theme. But like within this, you said you go to Kosovo in 02. This is 3 years after the genocide and after the NATO bombs and everything. So what's going on at that point?
It's more of a show of force, and still we did what's called a Serbian trace. The hot dog. See what happens when you get old? Serbian trace. So, obviously Kosovo is on the border of Serbia.
Kosovo was Albanians. Albanians were being genocided by Milosevic's Serbia at the time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, there was a big argument amongst a whole bunch of people about which side we picked, Serbia or Kosovo. That's been an argument since time began of who did we pick the right one and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So that's an argument for the politicians.
Why is that an argument, you think?
Because once a lot of the arguments, since I'm not a politician, were that we took Kosovo's side, ran all the Serbians off, then the Kosovarians took over all the Serbians' businesses and factories and all that stuff,
right? And
they failed immediately, like instantaneously, and they didn't stick up to their part of the bargain as far as like some things that were supposed to be followed through, which I don't know all the details on that stuff. That's their lane.
Because all the Albanians came to New York and they run the nightlife.
There you go.
We got all the talent.
There you go. See, they all pack their crap. And the Serbians are just a whole lot easier to deal with as far as my task went. And to give you an idea, we did what's called that Serbian trace, which means we just hop on these trails through the mountains in a couple Humvees. Or we lived with the Russians, or they lived with us. Russians lived with us at the same time. We'd take one of their BTR armored vehicles, or we'd take a couple Humvees or whatever else. And there's these really gnarly roads, man. I mean, if you like to off-road, this is the ticket. But it's sketch. And you mess it up, and you're taking a 400 or 500 foot ride down, And if you're a gunner, you're really out. So I wouldn't even let the gunner stick out the top of the thing, Just like, no, don't be sitting up there because you can't get down quick enough, bro. Because if you go, you're turning upside down off. Yeah. So we go do the Serbian trace, and we ride around, show of force. Here's Americans out here, got our flag flying, stop off at farms. Everybody's, nice and everything's good. No problem. Stop off at a whole bunch of old mills and stuff. It's really cool to look at. I got some pottery from some of them. Just really, really old stuff.
And at this point, the Serbians are pretty much ejected from the country. Kosovo's forming. I think it took 9 years before they were officially declared a country in 08, but they're forming into a country of Albanians.
And Serbians are where they're supposed to be. Albanians are where they're supposed to be. Everything's groovy. Well, they got their defense forces on their side of the border, and Albania's got their side going on. And so one day we're riding around, and we pull up to it's obvious. You pull up to the Serbian border, there's a great big sign that says Serbia, do not enter. It's like right there. So we pull up there, and there's like a big hilltop going up the side. We pull up there, and it's a beautiful day. We do this in snow and stuff a lot of times, and this day it's really nice. And we pull up there, and we're sitting there eating chow in front of the Humvee, or pulling chow out to eat, and all of a sudden somebody looks over and goes, "Is that a machine gun nest on the side of that mountain?" And it's a ways off. And I look up there, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So I picked up Barrett, and I was a 50 caliber sniper rifle, and I looked through my scope on the hood, like I said, "Holy shit!" There's like 5 dudes sitting up there, and they're looking at us, and I'm looking at them, and I was like, I held up 50, and I was like, like this. Don't mess around, you get some. And they all start laughing and dancing around, giving each other high fives. And they reach down and they spread out real wide and they hold up a 20 millimeter, this big. And they're like, for you. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. I do not need that. And they start laughing their butts off again. And I put the bear at the back. I was like, let's put that back there. We don't want that thing. Right. And it's mounted. That thing's mounted too on a tripod. I don't need that. And all of a sudden, here they come down the hill. I was like, what in the world? And they got the rifle slung and everything. And we're all like, all right, don't point at anybody or anything, but, just keep your stuff ready just in case. I don't know what their plan is. And start looking around, make sure this ain't something else, we're about to get wiped out by a much bigger crew. They come all the way down there and this and that and the other. And our interpreter, he speaks whatever language you need pretty much. I mean, he speaks Russian, speaks everything. And they come walking down there and this guy's like, so you are American? I was like, oh, crap, okay. Speak English too, shit. And he's like, okay, we're this and that, blah, blah, blah. I hate to ask, but do you guys have any food? I was like, yeah, we do. And he's like, we've been up there for like 30 days, man. We're freezing to death. We ain't got any water. We ain't got any food. And I was like, lay your weapons right there on that border, right there on the grass, and just don't look at them again. And we're set. And he's like, okay. Set up, go back here, start handing out MREs. We're all sitting on top of Humvees, exchanging emails.
Wow.
And just shooting the breeze.
That's diplomacy right there, man.
That's what we need. More of this, less politicians.
Yeah, I agree.
So I said, okay, all these Humvees, every MRE box in here, just take it with you. That's it. See all these 5-gallon water jugs, take all that crap with you too, dude. Just take all the food and water. Wow. And they just run off like, hey, thanks, man. Doing selfies and stuff. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
So you're not seeing, you're after the war. You're not really like seeing a ton of action there.
I mean, we're talking
time.
02.
It's more like peacekeeping,
02.
make sure.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just kind of letting people know we are here and y'all are over there,
Got it.
So I didn't get the initial invasion of that, and I didn't just do any of the CSAR, the crashed F-117.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, stealth fighter crashed in Kosovo.
Can we pull that up, Alessi? Stealth fighter crashes in Kosovo?
Kosovo? I think it was Kosovo.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of guys went and hunted for it. And
yeah, I remember the day.
The F-117, 25 years ago today. So this is 99. All right, yeah, click that. 1999 F-117A shootdown on March 27, 1999, during the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. A Yugoslav army unit, the 3rd Battalion of the 250th Air Defense Missile Brigade, which was under the leadership of Colonel Zoltan Dani, shot down an F-117 Nighthawk stealth aircraft of the United States Air Force by firing an S-125 Neva Pechora surface-to-air missile. It was the first ever shoot-down of a stealth technology airplane. The pilot ejected safe, he got out, and was rescued by U.S. Air Force pararescuemen conducting search and rescue. The F-117, which entered service with the U.S. Air Force in 1983, was cutting-edge equipment and the first operational aircraft to be designed using stealth technology. By comparison, the Yugoslav air defenses were considered relatively obsolete. So basically, they were able to shoot this down, and then we were worried that they had it in their possession so they could study it for proprietary info.
Give it to the Chinese or Russians. Right. But I remember the pilot, I think, was up in a tree, climbed a tree or something for like a day or or a couple days just to get some concealment.
Then I believe they blew it in place, if I recall.
So you weren't. You're saying you weren't hunting that. You weren't on that. Okay.
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, this is way before. This is 99. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.